Rabbis prepare a special scroll to greet the Messiah. An Arab leader tells Palestinians to forget about independence, and some new exclusive web-only content to tell you about from SkyWatchTV. Welcome. This is SkyWatchTV for Wednesday, March 23rd, 2016. I'm Derek Gilbert. First up, deadly attack in Brussels, Belgium. Kills nearly 36 people Tuesday morning. 230 people were injured in coordinated attacks on the airport and a train station in the Belgian capital. The Islamic State claimed responsibility. We're going to show you a clip from the Associated Press, some raw footage of the immediate aftermath of one of the bombs. Just a warning, while there is no gore in this clip, it is emotionally disturbing.
Stay down. Stay down.
Here's an X-ray of one of the victims of Tuesday morning's attack being treated at a hospital. Shows what appears to be a steel bolt embedded in the victim's chest. Belgian police, in a raid Tuesday afternoon, turned up a bomb loaded with nails, thankfully intercepted before it could be used. These attacks were probably retaliation for the arrest last Friday, told you about earlier this week, of one of the main suspects in last November's terror attack in Paris that left 130 people dead. The Belgian Prime Minister, Charles Michel, said it is a black day for Belgium. There was widespread condemnation from all over the planet, including this video address from Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who linked the attack in Brussels to recent attacks in Istanbul and Ankara in Turkey, San Bernardino here in the United States, and the ongoing wave of stabbings by Palestinians in Israel.
I want to first send my condolences to the families of those murdered in today's terrorist attacks in Brussels. The chain of attacks from Paris to San Bernardino, to Istanbul, to the Ivory Coast, and now to Brussels, and the daily attacks in Israel. This is one continuous assault on all of us. In all these cases, the terrorists have no resolvable grievances. It's not as if we could offer them Brussels or Istanbul or California or even the West Bank. That won't satisfy their grievances, because what they seek is our utter destruction and their total domination. Their basic demand is that we should simply disappear. Well, my friends, that's not going to happen. The only way to defeat these terrorists is to join together and fight them together. That's how we'll defeat terrorism. With political unity and with moral clarity.
Netanyahu was addressing the annual gathering of AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Shifting gears just a bit, Mr. Netanyahu got some unexpected support for his call for Palestinians to accept a Jewish state in Israel. Sort of. This is from the head of security for the Emirate of Dubai, Lieutenant General Dahi Khalfan Tamim. In a series of comments he posted to his Twitter feed Monday, Tamim said Palestinians should abandon their goal of an independent state and merge with Israel in a binational state. He said Arabs should not treat Jews as enemies, but as cousins with whom we have a controversy over land inheritance, which is putting it mildly. Tamim said, among other things, that a Palestinian state led by Arabs would join the list of failed states in the Arab world. And without Jews, who are leaders in the world economy, Arabs wouldn't know how to deposit money in the bank. However, Tamim did suggest that a binational state comprised of Arabs and Jews would become a majority Arab state within about 70 years. Now, there's no doubt that his statements are controversial, probably in the West and in the Arab world, but they do indicate a shift in how the Arab states around the Persian Gulf are viewing Israel in the wake of Iran's growing threat. See, the Arab states around the Persian Gulf are mainly Sunni. Iran, of course, is the world's largest Shia power. And so, in keeping with the old adage, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, it appears Sunni Muslims are willing to ally with Israel, at least until Iran is no longer a threat. As we mentioned yesterday, more U.S. Marines are heading back to Iraq. They're from the 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit. We don't know how many exactly. The deployment follows the deadly rocket attack Saturday that killed Staff Sergeant Louis Cardin of California. He was a field artilleryman with the 2nd Battalion, 6th Marine Regiment. Now, while the U.S. has confirmed this new deployment, the government of Iraq denies any joint operations between Iraqi government forces and U.S. Marines. In fact, they deny any deployment of any U.S. troops anywhere in Iraq, even though the U.S. government says we've got about 3,800 troops there. Although, as it happens, the actual number of U.S. troops in Iraq is closer to 5,200, and the Obama administration only admitted that there were actual boots on the ground when the number of American soldiers got into the thousands. One of the most prominent Shiite militia groups in Iraq, backed by Iran, has said that it will treat U.S. forces as occupiers and deal with them accordingly. Now, this begs the question, since the Marines operating near Mosul, the ones that came under fire Saturday, were there on the QT, no official recognition by the United States government, how did ISIS know to hit them there? The fire base, and that's what this is being called by the Pentagon now, a forward artillery base to support Iraqi troops in the upcoming invasion of the city of Mosul, which is the Islamic State's capital in Iraq. The fire base had only gone active a few days before the attack. And the online news site The Daily Beast reports that military officials they talked to, speaking off the record, said that ISIS targeted the base after watching American soldiers build it. And in addition to the death of Sergeant Cardin, 8 other soldiers were injured, 3 of them seriously. One of the more interesting ongoing news stories that we've been tracking at SkyWatchTV over the last year is a series of reports from Israel that seem to be coming more frequently with each passing week. Orthodox and ultra-Orthodox rabbis expecting the Messiah's imminent arrival. You remember the interview last week with Rabbi Menatayu Glazerson and Richard Shaw, producer, director of the film Torah Codes and the Darkness. This item is an update on a story I told you about some time back. A Torah scroll, specially prepared to greet the Messiah, has been completed. The man behind the project, Rabbi Yosef Berger, took a year to get this together. Use rabbis from all over Israel to hand write the letters of the Torah on the scroll. He said he took on the project after reading in a collection of teachings from the 13th century that no signs of redemption will be shown to Israel until they seek 3 things: the kingdom of heaven, the dynasty of David, and the building of the temple. Now, Rabbi Berger believes that by displaying this Torah scroll in the tomb of David, which is located on Mount Zion, the modern Mount Zion, not the traditional Mount Zion, which is the Temple Mount, but the modern Mount Zion, they will fulfill all 3 requirements. The ceremony for the completion of the scroll was held on the 7th day of the Hebrew month of Adar last week, believed to be the date of the birth and death of Moses. There's a tradition among Judaism that prominent rabbis and teachers are born and die on the same day. Now, of course, there is no temple in Jerusalem at the moment on the Temple Mount because the mount is occupied by the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock. But the Temple Institute is working toward the day when the temple can be built, the 3rd temple, which as Christians we know is prophesied because the Antichrist will reinstitute the daily offerings and sacrifices, which means there'll have to be a temple. They recently held a ceremony as sort of a dry run for the priests involved and also as an educational demonstration for spectators, along with the Sanhedrin, which has been reconstituted, although not necessarily officially recognized by Judaism. But there is a group of 70 now calling itself the Sanhedrin that participated with the Temple Institute in this ceremony. It was held March 10th in Jerusalem, which marked the beginning of the month of Adar. Now, in Temple times, this was considered a minor ceremony. And again, this was just a reenactment of what it would have looked like in the temple. No animals actually slaughtered, although the organs and fats were displayed and explained to spectators. just a reminder that the Orthodox and ultra-Orthodox communities are convinced, at least many of the rabbis are, that the Messiah's arrival is imminent. Now, we as Christians do need to remember that the Messiah has already been here once, and the rabbis are looking for a different man. They are, in fact, looking for a political and military leader to guide Israel to victory over its enemies. So I think we as Christians have at least this, a responsibility to pray that they and we, that all of us, will recognize Messiah for who he is when he arrives. Mentioned some exclusive web-only content coming to SkyWatch TV. We've got some interviews, some short interviews, some full-length programs that we just couldn't fit into our schedule, our television schedule over the past year. And so we are making those available on YouTube and the SkyWatch TV Roku channel. Discussions with Josh Peck during his first visit out here to the Ozarks, including a discussion of a type of angel that I had never heard of before. It's a hint. It's from the book of Ezekiel. Josh talks about that and many other things related to his books, Quantum Creation and Cherubim Chariots. That's some of the information you'll find there. An early interview with Dr. Michael Lake about his book, The Shinar Directive, with our friend Gary Stearman. That, again, online at the SkyWatch TV YouTube and Roku channels. Also on the SkyWatch TV Roku channel, new options there for new programs like Josh Peck's Into the Multiverse, and Sci Friday now has its own option there. You can go back and look through the archives if you can stand hearing that guy yell, "Science!" at the beginning of every show. For instructions on adding the SkyWatch TV channel to your Roku account, log on to skywatchtv.com/Roku. And of course, we have a portable option. If you just want an audio version so you can listen while you work, check out the SkyWatch TV podcast that is updated every single day. Well, most days. Not usually weekends, but every weekday anyway. You'll find that at skywatchtv.com. There's a tab in the top menu bar labeled Podcast, and there you can click a link that will allow your computer to download those files automatically for your consumption offline. This week, our discussion on SkyWatch TV is about, well, events like the one that just took place in Brussels. Days of Chaos. That's the title of L.A. Marzulli's latest book and the title of his latest DVD presentation, Watchers 9, that will be tonight, or this afternoon actually, on the Cornerstone Network, 2:30 p.m. Central Time. The Cornerstone Network available on television stations across the country. And if you miss it today, you can see it Saturday on the Victory Television Network and the Christian Television Network. A complete lineup of channels, stations, dates, and times posted at skywatchtv.com. Just check out the top menu bar there where it says Channel Listing. And please remember that you can bring the Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference into your home this July. The conference itself is sold out, but you can be there, virtually speaking, by signing up for 1, 2, or 3 options. You can see every one of the speakers at the conference. For information on the packages available and to sign up, log on to the website of our good friends at Prophecy Watchers. That's prophecywatchers.com. And your support is what helps us keep producing content on a daily basis. During the month of March, our thank you for your gift of $20 or more is the very timely DVD, America's Courts, Progress and Peril, featuring Alan Keyes and Alan Sears. And this keepsake wall plaque, we'll send those to you in exchange for your gift of $20 or more while supplies last during the month of March. To donate and for instructions, log on to skywatchtv.com/donate. And here is where you find us online. Click share, click like, click subscribe, and your click to share helps us spread the word here at SkyWatch TV. You'll find me online at these places here, and my email address, always open for your comments and questions, and sometimes those take on a form that I just really don't expect. I received several emails recently, I guess since the last time I trimmed the beard, asking if I actually watch these broadcasts after recording them, because there were some folks considered that I was recording these programs and not aware of something attached to my mustache underneath my nose. They were very gentle and they were trying not to hurt my feelings. Well, the answer to the question is, no, there's nothing there that shouldn't be there. And yes, I'm sure. I actually edit these broadcasts, and so I spend at least an hour a day staring at my face in a 27-inch monitor. So it's just that for whatever reason, the Lord has blessed me with a patch of lighter color right there. I like to think of it as a racing stripe. It's probably just a service stripe. Anyway, this light over here, if it hits it the wrong way, it reflects back, makes it look like there's something there that shouldn't ought to be. But trust me, if there was, I'd be back in here re-recording it so you wouldn't have to see it. So anyway, that email address, dgilbert@skywatchtv.com. And we thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is SkyWatch TV.
From the time she was little, Nita dreamed of horses. Every childhood fantasy rode on the back of a heroic white steed, coming to save the day.
I don't know how long I've had this love in my heart for horses. It's just always been there. And when we were little girls, my sister and I would play all day long. I was always the white horse and she was always the little pink pig.
Let's pretend Lightning and Rosie can fly.
But everything changed in a heartbeat. On December 9th, 1971, a tragic car accident claimed the life of my dad and my best friend and my little sister. And I wondered after that if there was anything left to believe in.
Move aside, let the ambulance through. Please move aside.
As a child of 13, I felt like I had lost practically everything. And I wondered, is this it? I mean, where do I go from here? I could not have imagined back then how God could use horses, of all things, to restore my faith and vision for the future.
Starting April 19th, get your copy of Nita Horn's inspirational new book, No Fences, and learn for the first time her amazing story of loss, survival, determination, and healing. How the vision and love God gave her for these beautiful and majestic animals eventually led to the 150-acre Whispering Ponies Ranch, a general retreat facility, as well as a premier training location that specializes in using and gifting therapeutic animals to benefit the herding. Other care facilities, schools, and ministries across the nation.
When God puts something in your heart, it's there for a lifetime.